Happy Wednesday, students. So by today, you should definitely have finished reading House Arrest by K.A. Holt. Today, you will be taking your assessment, showing me that you learned all of the things that we covered over the course of this novel study. Here's what your assessment looks like. Oops. So it says answer the following questions in complete sentence. There are a total of 5 questions. I put one question per page, so you'll have to scroll down to get all 5 questions. So it looks like, this first page, there's only one question. Don't think you're finished with the assessment when you finish that. There's a copy in your Google Classroom. So I made a copy for each of you. You just type your answers right in here and then submit it in the Google Classroom. So the first question says, how has Timothy changed from the beginning to the end of the story? How has he remained the same? Provide textual evidence to support your answers. So this answer should be a few paragraphs at least. Don't forget to answer all parts of the question. How has he changed? You might have a sentence starter that says Timothy changed a lot during the course of this novel. First of all, he dot dot dot. Here's some textual evidence to support that. And then your second part is how has he remained the same? And that part of your answer might sound something like, even though Timothy has grown and changed over the course of the novel, there's some things that he still hold true for Timothy. In some ways he has not changed. For example, dot dot dot, and here's some evidence to support that. So that's your first question right here. Your second question, there's an excerpt from week 51. After the climax of the story right here. So reread that or go back to 51 in your scribed account or re-listen to it using your Google YouTube video. What inferences do we as readers need to make after reading this section? What is your textual evidence? So Timothy finds himself in trouble again. What inferences do we have to make about Timothy after reading that section? So in this part, you'll just, here's an inference that I made. Here's my textual evidence to support that. That is the same thing that we did in this Google slideshow here for your lesson. So if you need to go back to this to see how we made those inferences, or if you need to refer back to any of these lessons before taking the assessment, please feel free to go ahead and do that. Your next section looks very similar. And it's about the end of the book. So at the end of the book, K.A. Holt does not answer all of the questions we have as readers. Therefore, we need to make some inferences about how the story ends. Think about all of the ends that K.A. Holt leaves open. So she doesn't tie up all the loose ends and leave us with a nice, pretty package. Everybody lives happily ever after. This is not that type of story. So think about what happens with Levi, what happens with Timothy, what happens with Timothy's dad, what happens with James and Mrs. B, any other characters that you can think, or any other loose ends that K.A. Holt did not tie up for us as readers. What inferences do we have to make? So these are all areas where we have to infer. Make at least 5 inferences about the book's ending, and don't forget to provide textual support for your inference. And question 4, on Tuesday, we brainstormed a list of many acts of generosity we found throughout the novel. Which act would you say is the most generous of all, and explain? Um, so that core value, that sacred gift of love, is definitely shown throughout this story. Um, Part of showing love is being generous, and being generous with your time, resources, love, all of those things. So think about who is most generous in this story and then explain why you chose that. Provide some textual evidence. And last but not least, you are going to answer the 5th question. Scroll down here. This is an excerpt from the very, very last stanza of the book. And notice that the words hope, fight, breathe, and suck are written in all caps. And this word yellow is repeated 8 times. Where is it over here? I looked at the yellow wall. Yellow is repeated 8 times, and these words are written in all caps. That must mean these words are exceptionally important in some way. Go back to that lesson that we did on connotation and denotation. So the words connotation in this story are very different from the denotation. So I have a chart again here that you'll fill out. Think about that word hope. What is the denotation? You may use an online dictionary to assist you with that. Go back to the lesson on connotation and denotation if you forgot what those two meant, and jot down the words denotation here, but the words connotation have a different meaning from their denotation in context of this particular story, house arrest. So think about what the words connotation means in the context of this story. What does hope mean in the context of this story? What does fight, breathe, suck? And yellow, what does it mean in the connotation of this story? We will discuss these questions and the answers that you provided on Thursday. So we have a Google meeting on Thursday, and it says that in your, is this Thursday? It says that in your assignment for today. Is this Wednesday? Yeah, right here, where it says you'll have a copy in your Google Classroom. Please submit your responses there. Be prepared to share your thoughts on Friday at our Google meeting. I'm going to show this is the quick video right here. In case you had trouble, 7-1 will be meeting at 1 o'clock, and 7-2 will be meeting at 1:30. So if you're 7-1, you'll just go to your Google Classroom right here, and the Meet link is right here. You can't get into that link until Mrs. Ash is in there first. So 7-1, go ahead, maybe just a few minutes before 1 o'clock, click on this link on Friday, and then that's how you get in. Some people were having trouble. If you are 7-2, we will be meeting at 1:30. So just a few minutes before 1:30, go to your Google Classroom, and our link for 7-2 is right here, and you just click on it. If Mrs. Ash isn't there yet, it won't let you enter. So then just try again a little bit closer to 1:30. Please, please, please email me, call me if you have any questions. And I am looking forward to chatting with you on Friday and seeing all of your faces. I hope your week is going well. I'll see you Friday. No, I'm sorry. That's Thursday, not Friday. You all don't have school on Friday. Mrs. Ash has meetings all day on Friday. So Thursday is your Google meeting date. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.